Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Boosted 2000. Also, quickly, whilst I remember, I've had some nice photos from Castle Coombe, which I paid for, from my top 50 parade laps. Take a look at these bad boys. What do you think of these? I fell in love with them straight away. I haven't done it in a Fiesta. I'll show you Fiesta ones too. I loved them initially, but I'm looking at them now, I'm thinking, does the car look like a rep? Well, I know it is, but is it embarrassing or are they good? What's your thoughts?
Hit subscribe.
We interrupt our program.
Today you will see we're back on the Escort Cosworth restoration, or upkeep, or maintenance, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so lots of tiny little pinholes. You'll see like here, if you look closer, you'll see little ones like this. So what we're going to do is use some copper, and we're going to do some infills firstly. So super simple, just a bit of copper pipe which has been flattened, and that's all we need. So to keep it simple, just to show you, put a magnet on underneath and a copper, and we'll put a magnet each side and a hole if need be, and then we'll just do some little infills. Okay, so yeah, on the top, it's really difficult to see. Hold on, there is some tiny little pinholes. Here we've got to grind this back, and this is where an amp or something has historically been installed into the car. Okay, it's a bit of a mess. As you will see, got to get all the tools. We're going to have 3 different sets of grinders rather than messing around, swapping around. We've cleaned these areas up now. Let's try and do this. Okay, so let's roll. I don't know what the light is like. Excellent.
One eternity later.
Okay, so trust the process, okay? I will explain what I'm doing shortly. Before someone says, fuck me, you should have been a grinder, not a welder. Neat, tidy, all this, strengthening. Right, yeah, that escalated really quick. So what went from just infilling some holes, I thought, do you know what, let's just cut this out and put some new metal in, because we've got a flex in the floor. The floor was salvageable, so yes, it's going to be people out there say you can buy new floor pans, and you can, and we could have cut them out, and this job could have cost 3 or 4 times as much more. I've spent a lot of time in it, but the car was already more or less prepped. I'm actually enjoying doing it, so I've cut sections out and I've welded with new metal in. Look, it's easier. Let me show you. Okay, very difficult. So there was a few little pit holes here. So I've cut them out, new plate there, nice penetration. This here is a 3mm plate on top, okay, and there was a flex in the floor and it was moving, and now it's not. So what you see there is some really nice welds. They will be ground back, and there's some other bits around here. The section here is going to be ground back a bit more, but this whole floor now is absolutely rock solid. It had the welds over here, it's had a new pillar put over here, box section. Let's have a seat mount done, let's have all this done. I'll do a little recap of what's been done so far. There you go, you can see nice penetration all the way through on the underside. Clean all this back up now. Infilled all 8 sections and ground back. Yeah, we're gonna pass this section. That's for rust treatment underneath going. But yeah, we'll clean all this up as well and get some seam seal around here and some edge primer. But yeah, the whole underside now, hold on, let me zoom out, is getting it. Also for the inside, it's got some nice MIPA mixed up petrol blue paint. That looks absolutely amazing when the car's obviously got its, all in primer and stuff, and then we've got obviously the sound deadening sheets down. It's literally coming a really, really long way now. And look, I keep saying, loads of people are really praising the last video. There's all likes. I love that. Thank you very much. Look, the idea of this is that you can restore a Cosworth, okay, and make it really, really functional rather than having it go into these £100,000 of restorations. This isn't going to be concourse, okay? Look, and that's not because I can't do concourse. It's because this is what we need. It's going to be a completely sustainable car. It's going to be on the road. It's going to be rock solid. And all this stuff, these welds, you are not going to see finish. I promise you, when I'll keep vlogging the car and I'll show you the floor when it's done, you ain't going to see none of it. And it's going to be solid. This is quite funny. I don't have a sweeping brush or hoover with me. So I'm using a hot air gun to blow out all this dust before I put some sealer on. It's all about improvisation, guys. Okay, so there's some sealer on it just for now. Let this dry off just a little bit. Then we'll put some brushable seam sealer on. And then we'll get this area in some primer when it's all hoovered out. Okay, so some great news. You can't see any daylight through the car anymore. Obviously we've got to bung these holes up. So, next job. Rather than cut all this section out, what we're going to do is, let me flip it on the other side, but these are common for going, okay? These are not jacking points, may I add. I seen a really funny video the other day that somebody on a SAF pulled these off and made fiberglass and tiger sealed another set on top of that. Probably didn't do any damage because the structure was already there, but fuck me, that's cowboy. So what we're going to do is, let me show you. Okay, so we are going to put a cut across here, slit these open, put a nice big lump hammer in there and hammer it down the best we can, and then maybe put a pulling tool underneath it, and then weld these back up and grind it out, and hopefully be back to normal. You will see we flip sides, and before we go on to that down there, I'm gonna, well, I've got some bits and pieces to do this side. So this side isn't as bad as the other side, okay? But if anyone wants to criticise my welds, and how dare you, may I say, let's look at Ford's welds. This is Ford, okay? So that is a Ford weld, okay? Looking across the bottom, that's how Ford weld their cars, okay? Not like me, not like that neat stuff over there, out of focus. It's had a repair before, okay, this car has. So, cover the engine numbers. This is the seat post. So, anybody knows what the seat post should look like. It should be, this section should be up higher and across, and there should be a plate underneath like that side, okay? Can't get these. Somebody has reproduced them, but it's been repaired before, and you know what? It's solid, but it's wrong. I've spoken to the owner, and we're like, look, we can do some kind of stuff. We can try and get a floor cut, but I'm like, do you know what? He said, let's just get it functional done, let's get it solid, and he trusts me of what I want to do. So I'm going to cut this out, okay? I'm going to cut here, and I cut here, and I'm going to cut here, and I cut here, and you're going to see why. Also, you can see some rust treatment all the way down here. I'm going to grind that out now, and I'm going to put a nice right angle on here. I don't need to do that, but that just neatens it all up again, like the other side. So when we've got all that sound deadening in, it looks 10 times better. But yeah, this side is way better. This is we're using disposable gas bottles, not the most cheapest and not the most economy way. And to answer a lot of people's questions, how much does this job cost? I'm not telling you. I'm doing this for a mate, so I'm doing it at mate rates. I'm doing it in my spare time, and purely I want him to get the car back on the road, and then it'll benefit myself too. But yeah, so but if you do want something like this done, like I said, I haven't got my own unit, hit me up. If you're in an area, it is something that we can talk about, show me pictures, videos, give you my WhatsApp details and stuff. But yeah, a lot of people in the last comments asked a bit about the car and the history because they want to know about it. So let me tell you about this car. He's owned it for 20 years, okay? His son is 18, and I asked him a question the other day because I've known the car for years. Did you bring your kid home from the hospital today? And he said no. he said he brought him home in his Focus ST. He did have a really known famous Focus ST 225. Maybe we'll talk about it in another episode, but I'll put that out there just to keep you engaged, okay? Probably the most viral Focus ST ever. Okay, so look, he's got this Escort Cosworth. It's the small turbo version. He's done a big turbo setup on it. He's done loads to it. It was back in the day. It was a back in the day car. I've known the car since I was a kid, and I've always wondered, cause I remember seeing this, right? I ran my Renault 5 Turbo on my Saxo VTS in Mile End petrol station, okay? And I used to have a 32-inch sub in it. That probably explains all the holes from the amps and stuff. But yeah, this car used to rock a giant sub in it. I think it was his mate and he bought it off him. But yeah, I've always known this car. The guy's always been into his Fords. He's had Series 1 RS turbos. He's had a Mark II Escort as a first car he described. He is camera shy. He doesn't want to be on you. And also, don't put in the comments whose car it is, okay? Because it's a bit of an anonymous build, okay? So let's trust and respect the integrity of that. He doesn't want people to know. I'd be super proud if it was my car anyway, but look, it's going to be great. He's got stuff coming back from powder coaters, he's got bigger brakes coming, or poly brushes. It's going to be an epic car. It's already epic now. Matthew's done paint work on it in the past. It's going back in for a full repaint, and he spoke to me last night. His deadline is spring. So let's see, shall we? Okay, my back is in absolute rags, so cut this out and sport these in. I think they're originally from a car, but some idiot kind of like fucking welded a nut to it, which was the wrong size and all shit. So 3mm right angle steel, right? Okay, I made this plate. Okay, it's already been powder coated. It's from something else. It's got a little latch but there, so that will go into here. Okay, right? If you're following so far. That will go into here and build up this box section. I'll hit that part down then when it's all on, use some sealer and stuff like that. Nice weld across here. It's going to have a right angle from here to here, so that will fit that. And then when we put the seat on, we're going to mark this up, and then literally we're either going to drill it and weld the nut on, or we're just going to tap this. And then I'll weld all the way around here as well. And then, hey presto, we've got a seat mount. And look, things look different on camera than they do to the actual eye. That's neat. It's going to be good.
12 seconds later.
And just like that, you'll see by there, we are out of gas. But look, you kind of get the idea. So I'll be like seamed all the way across. I'm going to re-seam that to a plate that was already there. Focus a bit. Re-seam that, seam that nicely, seam that, seam all around the edge. Oh, stupid light. And then right angle in this section. But yeah, look, it looked pretty original in fairness when it's all done nicely. And it'll be all solid. So difficult to show it, but I hope you kind of get the idea what we're building up. Also, I'm limited what tools I got here, so I'm going to drill a hole here and here, oops, so hot, and do like obviously a nice infill, like a butt fill in there, like a MIG weld. And yeah, a nice seam all the way across here. But that will be tidy. It's just an absolute gut that you can't get to see what it's going to look like. A bit frustrating, really. Okay, so there's the underside. All seam sealer and stuff on. Dabbed on. Because obviously it's going to have like a Raptor or a stone chip on it, so like, and a few layers of primer, so it's going to like obviously like, I don't know, have texture finish. You won't see none of this. Bit of primer on here now. Leave that dry 2 minutes. Oh, well, I say 2 minutes for you, 2 minutes. Get some primer on there as well. Okay, as we've run out of gas, I've quickly just etch primed this area using the Aerosol Expert Etch Primer from IPS. This is just now, so all this metal's been treated in the past and it's all clean. I've panel wiped it and it's just to tidy up a minute so it doesn't oxidize or start to rust.
12 seconds later.
Okay, so tough to tell. I know I keep saying that, but look, we put a light dusting of colour on it now just to show you guys what it's actually like, what the finished product is going to be. Don't forget, there's going to be a sound deadening all the way around here. We'll be covering all the seam sealer. And that's going to be a real nice looking car. I gotta be honest. We might get some black and stuff and dust that in, like, because it's like sound dead stuff. Or we might do in colour, we'll see. But I thought I'd lay some colour on because the guy whose car it is out working. I thought it'd be a nice surprise when we come home and think, do you know what, that's going to look for bee's knees. So yeah, I want you to remember what it looked like. So I had a hole all the way across there, across the seal. The mount was broken, a hole there, and a hole there. We put 3mm steel in here. We filled the hole out, done holes there, done a hole there, right angle plate over there. So yeah, it's come in. I'm just kicking myself and tamping that I wanted to do a seat mount because I think it's going to look for bollocks. It's just a shame you can't get to see what I see up there until it's done. What I really want people to understand as well, okay, so the mid-prep or the preparation and the not finished product are two different things, okay? So when you're doing work like this and you're prepping it and you're cutting it back, you're welding it and you're protecting it, what you see now isn't what you're going to see at the end. So you see all these restorations and stuff like that. And look, I don't think people realise the work goes into it for cutting out, obviously for welding, for finishing and stuff. And they just think, oh look, they're going to cut a bit of metal out, you're going to use a hot glue gun, welder of course, and literally it's going to look like brand new. It doesn't happen like that. This is how it happens. And yeah, I'm really excited so you get to see this car when it's done. But look, I'm going to leave you at this point now. Until next time, hit like, hit sub. Please be nice in the comments. No hate, I'll just block you. There's no point to it. Keep the channel trending. Like I said, it's good that the channel's going. It's good if people are interested in this build. If there's anything you want me to film, if you have a car you want to review on it and you're local to me, hit me up. But yeah, hit enable notifications, subscribe, and keep doing what you're doing. Thanks everyone. Also, I keep forgetting to address and answer questions. Myself personally, I am 12 hours in on this car, okay? And that's just pretty much on this section and on this rear section back here. So that's 12 hours and the car was prepped. I did have to cut the metal out and make my plates and stuff. But yeah, all the seam sealer, all the underside, all the car was prepped. So look, yeah, when you think about the amount of time that's gone into it, it's phenomenal already. These things don't happen overnight. Also, lastly, definitely this time, regarding the colour I put down, when these cars come from a factory, you've seen the welding I showed you earlier, they literally just have a dust of base coat. We're using obviously the 1K cans, they're really good in fairness. But yeah, I've literally laid that down now so there is colour in the car, more colour than it was, so it looked nice as well in case you ever take a carpet up, in case somebody ever wants to buy the car in future. When the sound deadening is down, you're not going to see the welding, it's going to be nice. So yeah, have a thought about that and I'll see you on the next one.